and welcome back to my channel. I'm Coach Ange, a spiritual life coach, and on my channel we talk about mindset, astrology, coaching, spirituality, and so much more. Today is the Virgo Season Workshop, and I'm super excited because I feel like I have a special personal connection with Virgo season as I am a Gemini, and Gemini and Virgo are both ruled by Mercury. Before we jump into this workshop, this is a pay what you can type of workshop, so if you'd like to support this channel, there is a link down below. And you can pay whatever you want, whether that be $1, $5, $10, whatever you feel comfortable, like I said, to support this channel. What you can expect from today's workshop is we'll talk a bit about Virgo as a sign, as well as the energy that you're going to potentially feel and that you can utilize throughout Virgo season, as well as some current astrological transits, and at the very end, 2 journal prompts that you can utilize throughout this season. And lastly, please make sure to follow me across all socials. I'm at Coach Ange 222. So, Virgo season. Virgo season usually goes between August 23rd and September 22nd or so. By nature, Virgo is a feminine sign and a mutable earth sign. Mutable just meaning adaptable and a little bit more flexible, which I think is really positive for an earth sign, so it doesn't feel too rigid or too strict or stiff, if you would. Virgo's sister sign, which is just the opposite sign in the zodiac wheel, is Pisces, and the symbol that is utilized for Virgo is the maiden or the virgin. Virgo as a sign is very organized, logical, practical, methodical. And like I mentioned earlier, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication. So Virgo is all about gathering the facts, gathering the information. And also Virgos can be very good teachers or coaches. I feel like I see that a lot, that Virgos are really good at being like elementary school teachers or coaches in sports, things like that, because they're able to learn information and do a really good job of organizing and like really breaking down the information that they learn to then give it to other people, if that makes sense. So I'm interested to know, if you're a Virgo watching this, if you are a coach or a teacher in some capacity, because I feel like that just makes sense, especially because Virgo's ruling planet is Mercury, again, the planet of communication. But yes, by nature, Virgo is very organized and practical, very methodical, strategic, attention to detail. Most Virgos I know are always on time. They're very punctual, and they're very on top of their task management. What I can say is the flip side is sometimes Virgo can be a little too nitpicky, or they might have standards that feel completely unattainable and they're a little too high for themselves and those around them. So making sure that Virgos understand, and anyone that's feeling that Virgo energy, that perfection is not possible, although we wish it was. Making sure that you give yourself and others around you some space and grace. If you have a lot of Virgo energy in your chart, especially in your big 3 or your big 6, which again is your sun, your moon, your rising, or your Mars, your Mercury, or your Venus signs, that is going to be a lot of how that's shaping your personality. But while we're in Virgo season, we all feel that energy collectively. So that also brings me to that, right? Like we might be feeling some of that energy ourselves, even if you don't have a lot of Virgo in your chart. Like myself, I only have my midheaven in Virgo, but I feel so drawn to get organized, get my life in order, get my life in check, get my tasks done, get all those things I've been putting off. I really feel this big pull to do that, or clean up, clear out, clean up my phone, my car, my closet, like my home. I really feel a big pull during Virgo season, so you might be feeling that as well. So lean into it. It's never a bad thing to like clean up and get your stuff together, but of course, make sure that we're letting go of the perfectionism, which will help segue into this next part of some of the current astrological transits. There is a lot of Virgo energy right now in the universe, in the world, floating around, if you would, because currently the nodes of fate and destiny are in Virgo and Pisces. So Pisces is in the north node, whereas Virgo is in the south node, basically just meaning that, especially if you have a lot of those signs in your chart, south node is asking whatever that sign is to let go and release, which again, I talked about letting go and releasing the idea of these like super strict rules, these super high expectations, or this perfectionism. I think really letting that go will help open the door so much for Virgos, especially, or people who have major Virgo placements, because sometimes there can be a lot of decision paralysis that happens when you're trying to do something because you overthink it because you want it to be perfect instead of just starting and trying. So there's that about the south node and the north node. The other thing is we are about to enter eclipse season. So when this is being recorded, we haven't started eclipse season just yet, but eclipse season will start September 7th, and that will be in Pisces. Then on the 22nd of September, the last day of Virgo season, there will be an eclipse in Virgo. So there's just so much energy between Pisces and Virgo right now, as well as this affects mutable signs, which is also Gemini and Sagittarius. Those are the other fellow mutable signs. Because it's on that same axis, it's going to affect all of them, but it's a collective energy again. So eclipses kind of give full moon vibes of like release, let go. What do you need to part ways with, whether that be thought processes, whether that be something physical, like, all the clothes that's been sitting in the closet that you don't need, or in the back of your car, or friendships, relationships that are no longer mutually beneficial. Now is that time. So eclipses feel very transformative if you just lean into the energy and you don't fight it, just go with it. And again, especially if you have major placements in Virgo and Pisces, you're going to feel it like extremely, extremely heavily, which is okay. Just lean into it. I think that is also about to shift as well. Some other transits is Saturn has been in Aries, but it's going to dip back into Pisces temporarily for the next 5 months. So Saturn is the planet of like discipline and life lessons, and it's a very slow moving planet. So once it gets into a sign or a certain house, it stays there for a very long time. And so Saturn moving into Pisces was a big shift, and now it's dipping back into Pisces for, again, 5 months or so until February of 2026, and then it'll go back into Saturn for years. So that's just another aspect that is affecting the mutable signs, but especially Pisces and potentially Virgo because they're sister signs. So that's another thing that's kind of happening right now. Pluto is still in Aquarius for the next 20 years or so. Uranus in Gemini, and Uranus is the planet of like rebellion and revolution and sudden change, and it being in the kind of chaotic and fun but airy sign of Gemini, there could be some sudden, changes that are happening or that you're seeing in your life in particular, or just on a global massive scale. So that's also something to kind of be aware of. So there's that on some of the astrological transits. Now to jump into 2 journal prompts that you can utilize throughout this Virgo season. The first one being, how can I get more organized in my life? So really sit back and think about how you can get more organized in your job, in your home, in your thought processes, in your day-to-day, like things like that. Really write that down and be very intentional, because again, this is the energy and the time to get more organized in your life so that we can kind of go into the end of this year with our ducks in a row and not feeling scattered and chaotic, okay? And number 2 is, what do I need to release to level up? So this can be, what can I let go of? What expectations, what bad habits, what sort of limiting beliefs do I have that I just need to let go of? There's so many different things. It can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be mental, it can be spiritual, but really, again, get intentional with answering this question of what do you need to release so that you can level up? Because when you are trying to level up, you don't want all these things weighing you down. So really think about that. Again, first journal prompt is, how can I get more organized in my life? And number 2 is, what do I need to release to level up? I hope that you've enjoyed this workshop. As always, I try and make things bite-sized and not too long and too crazy and not too in the weeds. But I hope that you have an amazing Virgo season. If you ever need any help or have any questions, I do offer one-on-one clarity calls where we can talk through your mindset, astrology, your personal astrology, the current astrology, and how you can get clear on what next steps you want moving forward in your life and being confident doing that. So again, if you would like to book a one-on-one clarity call, you can click down below in the link in my description box. Otherwise, I can't wait for you to have an amazing Virgo season. Next up will be Libra season, which is a totally different energy, so get ready. But for now, utilize this Virgo season, really lean in and get yourself ready to finish out 2025 strong. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.